Redfall's cosmetics can all be unlocked in-game. Difficulty will scale dynamically. Depending on the size of your party, you'll see changes in the sorts of enemies you encounter, how strong they are compared to solo, and the frequency of elite traits. Those aren't blanket changes either. Some encounters are always going to be easier or harder than others, and some may not change at all. But that's the point, things should feel more challenging because you have more players, but it isn't a flat multiplier by any means. On the topic of difficulty, Redfall's developers said if you're playing solo, the game will be tougher depending on how much of the campaign you've completed. Things get a little more complex in co-op, where Arkane said it's considering your campaign progress and difficulty still, but also looking at the number of players. Redfall was announced during the Xbox and Bethesda E3 2021 showcase on June 13, 2021. The game is being developed by Arkane Studios at their Austin, Texas locations. Co-creative director Ricardo Behr stated that the game will continue Arkane's tradition of making each game different from the last, but will still focus on deep world building and inventive game mechanics. On May 12, 2022, it was announced that the release was delayed to the first half of 2023. On January 25, 2023, Arkane Austin announced that Redfall will release on May 2, 2023. The game is set in the quaint island town of Redfall, Massachusetts. After a failed scientific experiment by the bio company Evum Laboratories, they transformed themselves into vampires and subsequently took over the town. To isolate themselves from the outside world and prevent anyone from escaping, the vampire gods blocked out the sun and pushed the water back from the island. Trapped inside Redfall, it is up to 4 survivors to end the threat for good. Cryptozoologist and inventor Evander Krausley, telekinetic college student Layla Ellison, combat engineer Remy de la Rosa, and supernatural ex-military sniper Jacob Boyer. Redfall is divided into 2 areas, District 1 on the east side of the island and District 2 on the west side. Players undertake a variety of missions in areas known as neighborhoods. Players take back territory within each neighborhood by capturing safe houses. Safe houses enable players to replenish supplies, interact with other survivors, and undertake unique missions. After enough territory has been reclaimed, players will be allowed to face the leader of the neighborhood, the vampire underboss. Once they are defeated, they will drop skulls which act as keys for players to battle the vampire gods who serve as final bosses for each chapter. Aside from the main story, side missions are also available to players like procedurally generated vampire nests.